Welcome to another laruan ni Obi-Wan action figure kitbash video, because in this channel it's all about the play, less of the hype or the action figure community negativity. Okay, so let's put in the ingredients for this action figure recipe. Okay, so from the great toy aisles of Walmart, the clearance section, of course, not the regular or the collector section, but the clearance section. Star Wars Black Series Jedi Master Kel Naka got this action figure for $5 from its previous price of $33.97. Okay, so this is going to be the base action figure body. Okay, so next action figure that we need in this action figure recipe for a scout sniper is going to be the G.I. Joe Classified Series Action Marine Sniper, the female Action Marine Sniper. But we're not going to make use of this section. It's just going to be this item over here. That. So I did not complicate the build with so much process as to doing stuff. It's going to be, as usual, nice, easy to follow. Okay, so let's put in the action figure. So, okay, sorry guys, there is still one ingredient needed for this action figure build. It's going to be the recon gear pack from Action Force Valaverse. So I know that majority of you guys would possibly have this. Okay, so once again, we're ready to put the action figure build on the revolving review table. Okay, so before we do a quick 360 view of this action figure build and before we dissect or take it apart, as for height of this action figure, it's going to be around the 7-inch mark. Okay, so it's going to be as tall as your standard McFarlane DC Multiverse action figure. Okay, so more or less it's going to be a standalone action figure piece, but it's going to be nicely detailed, fully articulated, and nice to play with. Okay, so it's not going to be a statue. It's a 7-inch fully articulated, fully detailed action figure build. So I guess this is going to be the ultimate laruan ni Obi-Wan recipe for a scout sniper. Okay, so this time let's do a quick 360 view of the action figure. Okay, so some modification is needed for the Star Wars Black Series Kel Naka action figure. Okay, and also we're not using the Kel Naka head unit. That is a G.I. Joe Classified Series Lieutenant Falcon head unit. Okay. So yeah, anyway, we're going to take this apart and you guys would see how the base action figure body is constructed, or the modifications that I simply did to it. Okay, so as you could see or probably guess, it's going to be a very simple action figure build. With regards to the chest rig, you could just go with the standard setup of the Action Force Valaverse chest rig, or you could do something of the modifications that I did in a previous video regarding how to incorporate these two separate systems into one modular unit or tactical unit or kit. Okay, so the primary weapon that is from Action Force Valaverse, so the deluxe class blowback figure, the sniper figure. Okay, by Action Force Valaverse. So we just did a little bit of tweaks on the rifle. Actually, I already have a previous recipe for this, and I just repeated it. Anyway, we have several deluxe blowback action figures in the channel. Okay, so pieces just waiting to be used, but you are free to use whatever rifle that you have on board, not necessarily this weapons platform. Choose whatever you have on board in your collection, of course. Okay, so this is how the modified recon gear pack looks like. Okay, so we have a previous video in this channel featuring how I made this system. Okay, so this is going to be the second system that I made for this action figure. The first, we have that on a different action figure. Okay, so this sports black magazines, sports a M9 Beretta, and sports a knife on the side inside in exchange for the suppressor. Okay, so this knife that is from I need a that knife is from G.I. Joe Classified Series Stalker. Okay, so there you go. So what we did with the Stalker knife, we just shortened it out. Instead of full length, it's going to be mid length. Okay, so it's going to fit that holder. Okay, so cut and glue, simple process. Anyway, it's going to be a piece that's going to just sit in that section of the modified recon gear pack by Laruan ni Obi-Wan. Okay, so all of his gear, communications equipment, reload for the primary sniper rifle, sidearm, and miscellaneous kit and med kit, and additional stripper clips on this side. So there's a pocket there. Okay, here you go. So as for articulation, let's discover the articulation of this action figure. Okay, so we already discussed the ingredients that came with is needed for this recipe. Yeah, I have to grammatically correct myself again. Okay, next, we also discussed details and balanced with articulation, balanced with the accessories needed for the action figure build. Now it's time to go under the ghillie suit. Okay, so let me take in the pieces that I did not use for this action figure build. Okay, so with a simple use of a hair dryer, you could take apart the action figure. This I'm going to use for another action figure build, a Jedi build this time. Okay, but yeah, I'm going to use this robe in there possibly, so it's going to be an integrated piece instead of this being a separate piece. And yeah, I'm just looking for a action figure body that is going to host this Jedi build of mine. Okay, so we took this out. Don't worry guys, it's easy to take off this neck peg and this head with just a simple use of hair dryer. About 30 seconds of heat on that neck section and you could pop this off. Okay, so actually disassembling the action figure too. So if you've been using the hair dryer heat technique with your G.I. Joe Classified series or Action Force Valaverse series, it's going to be the same thing with this action figure set. Okay, so finally the moment of truth. this ain't no shallow hull. Okay, so underneath this section, which as you could see, it's fully covered up, taking out the human profile of the operator. Okay, we're just using a different head unit, a non-painted head unit, because if it's going to be a painted head unit or a camouflage head unit, I'm going to lose contrast. It's going to be all green and brown and black. Yeah, so for this, so the action figure build is going to at least stand out in my collection. Yeah, we'll just leave this section as is to provide contrast. Okay, now you could do this. Okay, so hood off, and you could even use a Action Force Valaverse nodes. Okay, the tilting nodes or the non-tilting nodes. But for this action figure build, I used a non-tilting nodes, the one without the hinge, and just cut off the nodes section, because this piece I'm actually using as an anchor for the hood. So when I pop the hood onto the head of the action figure and try to move it around, it's going to articulate. It's going to go with the flow or the action figure pose. Okay, so to disassemble this action figure, you need to pop off the head, of course. Okay, before we go onto the back and unstrap or pop off these connection points of the Action Force Valaverse Recon Gear pack. Okay, so let's take on that head unit, and as you could see, it doesn't look long, or the head unit does not look long or big. Okay, so actually it's anatomically proportional to the rest of the body parts of the action figure, especially the arms and the length of the legs. Okay, so just from that piece, pull it off. There you go, you have that peg and you have the head. Okay, so let's set it aside. Let's set aside the weapons platform. Let's go towards the back section to unhinge the vest, or to provide release for the vest. There you go. Okay, 2 straps off. Actually, putting them on is also easy because the diameter of the body and the size of the body. So I made measurements with a caliper. So where's the caliper? Okay, so I made measurements with a caliper first, measuring the chest rig and the body of the base body of the action figure. So instead of putting additional items underneath the ghillie suit to bulk it up, I did not put anything anymore. Okay, so I could strap on the Action Force Valaverse Recon Gear Pack easy on this action figure, and it's going to look great. Okay, now since this is already, putting it on or off is also very easy. Yeah, so no need to really worry about this item. Yeah, so as you could see, it's going to be just this simple. There you go. Okay, so this is off. You could easily put it on or put it back on, and winning. There you go. Okay, so as you could see, the diameter is small. So if you actually put this on, you'll have enough clearance space to fit this item. Okay, there you go. So that's that much bulk that you could stuff underneath, or you could stuff this underneath, I mean, instead of putting or bulking this section up. Okay, so when you take or hit the body up, and yeah, let's put this off first. Okay, here you go. Okay, so this thing would ride inside there. Okay, so that this neck peg is from G.I. Joe Classified series. So after about 30 to 35 seconds or possibly 50 seconds of heat on this section with a hair dryer, you could pull it off. And with a G.I. Joe Classified series neck peg or connector, put one on, of your choice of course. Just make sure that it's not going to be too lengthy. So choose the neck piece that you're going to add onto this action figure build. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is how the action figure looks underneath that body. Okay, so that's why you have enough articulation points, because you have 1 and 2. And I also take off. I have to once again grammatically correct myself. Okay, I also took off with an X-Acto knife some material on the neck piece on top. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's how the action figure base body looks like, with the Lieutenant Falcon head. Okay, with that boot set from G.I. Joe Classified series. I think this is from the second version of Roadblock, or possibly the Tiger Force Roadblock. Well, anyway, yeah. So as you could see, it's a nice fit and provides for really great motion for the foot also. Okay, there you go. So you free up this space. Do not put additional material on and then put the vest on, because you want this space to articulate. And as you could see, I also took off material with also once again with the use of an X-Acto knife on that section just underneath here. Okay, of course you need to separate these two pieces off with a hair dryer to do such an action or modification. Actually, this build needs a little, I think, a little bit more. Yeah, anyway, so since I have the items off, I could once again work on this after editing this video. Okay, so there you go. One easy, simple recipe that you could do to make your very own version of your ultimate sniper. I really do know that you guys need one in your collection, because yeah, Valaverse tried his best to come up with one, but yeah, it's semi-baked. G.I. Joe Classified series also came up with one with the Action Marine, the female Action Marine, this one, but yeah, once again, it's a semi-baked piece. But with this base body and this combination and those parts combination, plus very easy to do, not very hard to duplicate with this action figure recipe. So within 30 minutes or 1 hour, as long as you have all of the parts together, it's going to be one simple build, and you immediately have the action figure of your dreams. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe, and share so other action figure collectors would also have their very own sniper action figure build in their collection, instead of relying with Action Force, Valaverse, with Hasbro, or with whatever company to once again come up with an action figure that would cost you your kidney and your liver and your heart. But with this clearance section action figure finds, $5. The Action Marine, $12. With the rest of the parts that I mentioned, majority of you guys already have those in your collection. So it is less than what whatever toy action figure company would put up with in the near future, and then once again draw you into pre-order. That you're going to once again stress out your credit card, because in this channel, less of the hype, it's all about the play. So see you in the next action figure video review.